Hello everyone! Welcome to the LC Philippines Nationals 2025 May 4K/7K Quarterfinals Mappool Showcase. We had some really interesting matches last week, and I can't wait to see the challenges that await all of the players in this round, considering that no one is eliminated just yet. This is Lively Peninsula speaking, and alongside with me in the commentary booth is gonna be Lot, Nightcore, Surf285, and I believe Itawachi is also coming in later. But that's it for now. Everyone, say hi.
Yep, I'm not going to sugarcoat this week's Mappool is extremely hard. It is exceedingly hard. What adjectives can I use? I do not know. I hope this is sufficient.
I I could actually agree with that. Not only on 4K but 7K. It's actually surprisingly harder than I initially thought. I was helping with the playtesting and all. Like everything was like, wait a minute. Are we actually doing this difficulty now?
Yeah, it's definitely a very big spike up compared to what we have seen last week, what the players were capable of doing. But now this week, well, we're going to throw in a lot more to mix into you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I will preface this by saying last week we had 7K first. This time we're gonna do something different. We're gonna flip the order. I think we're gonna have 4K first this time. Isn't that correct, sir?
Indeed. Definitely not because wala pa yung replay ng tiebreaker sa 7K XD.
Well, it happens. I mean, it's about time we get all the job done first. So now, I just want to give a shout outs to all the map poolers. All of them have done a really good job. All the charters, all the editors. Thank you so much for clutching up the map pool as always. You guys have been such a great help to this pool. Let's get started with Rice 1. Although I think we should lower the volume a little bit for this. Right, there we go. So this one is going to be TFC. Alright. So I actually play tested this. Also, by the way, a lot of these are my replays. That's not I mean that's actually me playing this. But yes, this is gonna be our speed pick.
Surprisingly close to the MWC speed pick Himawari no Sakamichi. This one is, I believe, 173.25, while Himawari is 170. So this is slightly faster, but it has more comfortable and smooth patterns. So the delay speed effect is much more pronounced.
Yeah, we're kind of getting players adapted into more of the streams. You have seen the appetizer near the start, but then it pretty much kicks you all in when we do get into our main Ki.
Don't worry, by the way, as I only have a 96, but this is without warm up. So take this replay with a grain of salt and only focus on the what do you call this again? The chart itself. By the way, can we lower the scroll speed a little bit? Like maybe like a bit lower if it's possible. If not, that's okay. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit. Yeah, that's already okay.
It will seem a bit denser, but don't worry, it is just kind of the scroll speed effect getting that change in. Small jump stream transition before we get kicking back right into it. Just pretty much action-packed with all these streams, and definitely with that big BPM increase from last week. Definitely something to watch out for.
The stream patterns are also very continuous, kind of following the same trend from last round. This kind of continuity drains your stamina, and for those who are already good at raw skill, it keeps you consistent and on your toes.
Yeah, the thing about this pick, like what you said, it is slightly faster, but the patterns are a bit more comfortable. Then again, though, this pick is still not comfortable in comparison to the previous Rice pick. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely something that maybe some of the players, I do know that kind of did fall short a bit on some of the stream picks. Definitely will have to watch out for a pick like this. So we can jump into Rice 2 now, which I do believe is going to be our jump stream pick.
Mm-hmm. Of course, continuing the raw skillness of Rice Fund, this is going to be our raw skill jump stream hand stream pick, which is going to be exceptionally dense but short. Like, it's supposed to test your raw skill in a very short sweet and concise way.
It does definitely follow some of that similarity that we have seen from last week with the jump stream map, especially now with that BPM increase. I do believe last week it was 220, so we're having a 23 BPM increase. Again, pretty natural when you do kind of get that difficulty up a small bit, and the density is of course going to be a bit more action packed as well.
It's kind of funny because I believe the 7 key side also had Campanella. So now, this is what our Campanella looks like. So 243 BPM. I believe last week was actually a lot slower than this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this one might have been a pretty big jump. I don't know if it's excessive or not. We will see. But last round, What's Up what was picked a lot. It, I think, was considered the safe and solid pick. So I figured that maybe a bigger buff this round is not going to hurt that much.
It'll definitely kind of wreck the name of the safer pick anyways. Especially now we have more unique patterning, especially a lot more those dense jumps, and a bit of the emphasis as well on the middle column trills as well. Something to kind of keep your eye out for.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. I just wanna say the up rate in this map pool is going to be significantly harder. We are really not gonna let anything down here. So this is really expected.
The planning
Also with that,
is. Go on.
and there you go.
Yeah, I think the planning is quite comfy, at least compared to Rise 3, which we're going to showcase just in a moment. But yeah, I think this will cater a lot to the raw skill players, which I believe is on a very big rise this year around, considering Rise 2, which last round, which I considered the hardest pick, is somehow still a safe pick. Now I do not think it's going to be safe anymore. Like, I swear to God.
I think definitely a safe pick has been dethroned from our race too. Especially as you see near the ending as well, where you do have that little stream burst as well. Maybe that could cause a few combo breaks, unfortunate combo breaks. But that is going to conclude our race too.
Well,
All right,
was
so yeah, I guess I could go to Rise 3 then.
indeed.
Oh yeah, Lot, you made this replay. Go ahead.
This map might be a tragic love story. This feels very like typical jump stream hand stream. Like, if you played a lot of tournament stamina maps, then this one is one of those textbook jump stream hand streams. It has very diverse patterns that connects to the music well, and because it is representative of the music, it also feels irregular and has a variety of jump stream hand stream patterns. This part is still a bit comfortable, but into the chorus there will be a lot more one-handed trills, which I think is the trickiest part of trying to hold a good accuracy on this map. Here we are.
I would easily agree with you on that. I do believe this map was one of the qualifiers this in the previous year for Oceania Malaysian tournament.
Cool.
And
OMT4.
yeah, OMMT4 it was. And it just kind of lays down and hammers all those trills, jumps, and some of those hands as well. Especially when we do get near the ending, where it does pretty much throw a bit more onto you. But for now, you do get that just pretty nice break to kind of get back here, to kind of keep your cool back on again.
This feels a bit repetitive, but I believe that's just the nature of consistency picks. Like, you guys are already familiar with repetitive jump stream hand stream songs, like from DJ Sharpnel or from Falcom Sound Team. These Shoegazer Lemon Guy maps are very akin to what Suki Zetro Show here has to offer.
Yeah, definitely. See, I think what kind of stands out this map compared to Xenon World's Sound from last week, that it definitely has a lot more of that emphasis on more of the jumps and one-handed oriented patterns. While I do think last week was definitely more of a pretty much marathon, you do kind of get those mini breaks in between, but again, up in the density and more the awkwardness of some of those patterns as well, definitely to kind of give you something more unique.
Yeah, the difficulty increase in the two main aspects of this kind of patterning would definitely give you guys more of a challenge from last round. I believe at this point of the map, you may be pretty anxious now, and it will make it much harder to control the one-handed trills, which are like 6 notes long and accompanied by anchors front and back. So yeah, a lot to handle within this so-called consistency map.
And as we get through the ending, definitely has a lot of that emphasis, both transitioning in between the outer column and inner column trills as you do kick off into that ending. Very brutal area, especially if you do lose your combo there. Can be kind of hard to make that recovery.
Yeah, I mean, something that viewers might be a bit confused about, because I remember last week we had Xenon, right? Xenon was our stamina pick. If I'm not mistaken, last week it was Xenon, right?
It
Yeah,
did.
you would be
There's
correct.
no Xenon.
Okay, so some people might be like, "Oh, isn't the BPM like the same? What makes this different from this week?" Well, like what these two have said, it's definitely the density and like the variety of patterns are more present here. And that definitely makes it at least worthy of a round harder pick than the previous one, despite having almost the same BPM. Just wanted to clarify that out because some people might really be questioning that.
That is true.
And it
Okay.
also
You have anything to say, Nightcore?
yeah, pretty much. You guys took the words out of my mouth. Although the BPM is very similar, it's just really those patterns kind of mixed thrown in. Might be a bit easier for some people, but definitely kind of more tricky for some.
All right. So the next pick is gonna be, I think it's Korjak.
Mhm.
Oh,
A
here we
new
go.
a new slot compares to last week. This Jack map is who would guys know? I do not know where he like pulled this map from. Like it's so good. It's a very standard like middle density, slightly light Jack map. It's very comfortable, even with the 142 BPM speed. Does feel a little bit fast, but it really is super like easy to act if you can play it. Either that or you will struggle with the continuity of the patterns.
It's
Yeah,
very.
especially
Go ahead, Nightcore.
yeah, especially when you do jump into the Kia, you're seeing a lot more of those hands, but again, not really seeing more of those chords. But again, as you did say, lot that if you're not really comfortable with the BPM, then you will easily fall behind on a pick like this, as it's just continuous.
Yeah, it definitely is very continuous. You know, comparing this to the Korjak pick last year, which was Betrayal of Fate, this is much more difficult, and it definitely fits the quarterfinals aspect more. And like, I can definitely see the challenge here that's going to be brought upon by this chart, just because of how, like, what you guys have been saying, continuous it is. And thankfully there aren't like any destructive. I remember the last year squad core jackpick had like some LNs which made some players drop accuracy as well, which is kind of funny because thankfully there's only like a few of those here. I just know the core jack players are gonna enjoy this pick.
This map is very fun. Like, I think if you can play this, you enjoy getting a lot of like 300 rainbows on this map because it really is very intuitive for some reason.
Yeah, it definitely has a very nice flow to it. And if it's just one of like, and as we said, like, Kojak players will definitely thrive on this, and we'll be seeing a lot of very interesting scores. Now, it would be very impressive if we did see a single digit French count, which definitely is doable, but especially with those other notes I said, the chord jack and some of those LNs, can make it pretty tricky maybe. But we'll just have to see.
I do want to warn you guys about some chokeable parts though. The one that I missed on is potentially mind blockable, and there is a 1/6 mini jack somewhere which may trip a 200 from you guys if you're not careful. But that should be all for this very enjoyable map of throughout the quarterfinals.
So we're gonna have. I actually forgot what the next chart is. Is it okay? It's technical. It's technical.
Yeah, it's a very rough map. I'm proud of this pulling.
All right, jumping into our technical pick. So I do believe last week was One Rave, so this is gonna be so we're gonna be up in the ante a small bit again with that ODA kind of, getting that kind of stricter timing in a map like this.
Do not be fooled by the star rating. It's only 4.46, but it's definitely the hardest to score accurately out of all the maps. This map has a pretty decent emphasis on anchors, which is pretty akin to Warm Rave, but unlike the comfortableness you see in our chord jack pick, this one is just extremely awkward to play. Like, you can maybe try to play, ghost step the map yourself, and you will feel how awkward it is to transition between these from anchors to graces to trills, bursts. There's everything at once. The mapper claims that this is his best map of 2024, and this truly shows he's representing every song, every texture possible, giving this map a unique and delicate feel to it. But it's also extremely tricky in a tournament context.
It definitely is very tricky. What makes it so hard is just a lot of there's so many mini jacks here, anchors and all that. Like, I think, what was that again? It was Worm Rave. Worm Rave had these in bursts and some moments. This chart has it all over the place.
I think I jokingly said that this is unintentionally the next generation of Worm Rave, but made to be much more screwy.
Alright, go ahead, Deco. What were you saying?
Yeah, you guys pretty much took the words out of my mouth saying most of that. But as we do as we do get kind of more developed into this map, you're definitely seeing a lot more of those longer anchors accompanied by some of those trills with some of the flams in it. Now, of course, you can kind of treat them as jumps, but with the OD being OD8, it might not be the best idea, especially if you don't really want to drop too much 200s, because I feel like there will be a couple of players who will be kind of holding on to that full combo, but again could be getting decided down to those 200 counts.
Yeah, I love this map. I hope you guys do too, despite its scariness in general. Please just enjoy the delicacy, as I said, of the map. It's very nuanced, I'd say.
Oh, definitely nuanced.
Yeah, I 100% agree as well. Very nuanced and very well made.
Very well structured and well mapped. But if you guys are missing your daily dose of weird ass music choices, then this next pick may be for you. Introducing our wild card pick, and this week is also going to be the boss pick. Grey's Gote EX.
Don't worry, this is not the sultry Gote EX, okay? Just
Not
in
by
case you learn.
Biosphere. I swear, this is not by Biosphere.
We're not at that stage.
There's three tech maps of this song already. One by Biosphere, one by Aquarius for VNMC Grand Finals, and this one I believe is for Gulano Cup 6 Grand Finals as well. But we're using it here as a boss pick of quarterfinals, and it does live up to its name, as seen in this first section already having a lot of burst and jump streams, like they're kind of mixed together in a way that's tech, but in a different sense to the anchoredness of Rise 5. So it contrasts very well with Vibrant, I'd say.
Oh, easily. And that's only kind of the appetizer and what we're pretty much getting into. We still have around 3 minutes of the map left, definitely being the longest map by a pretty long shot until we do see the tiebreaker, which could be longer. And yeah, just kind of kicking it back into the cams before we do get into the storm again. As you were saying with the jump streams and some of those
I'll interrupt
anchors-
you for a bit and enjoy this trio. You will have to monkey it. Like, I have to brute force it, like I shut my eyes and I'd spam this trio like crazy to avoid getting 200s. This one is like an old replay and I sight read it, so I dropped like 6 200s on it. Please do not sight read the map. Please practice the trio. Thank you. Okay.
Yes, pretty please. And here we go, jumping straight back into it. A lot of those emphasis on the flams and some of those 1-6 streams as well. Some anchors on the outer columns. It is going to be pretty much a marathon what you are going to be getting into next. And you do get that little stop and go section as well. Just a lot of that control. And of course at the BPM, just kind of shifting between 360 and up to around 100 as well. It's something you kind of have to manage the BPM changes as well.
Indeed. Yeah, it's just gonna get even harder and harder. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the reaction of people, because I am seeing some people like getting scared of this. And yes, this is indeed quarterfinals. By the way, for all the viewers.
I think like the general reaction of everyone during MWC 24 was general shock of the difficulty increase. Even though it's just a slight increase, it's very clearly felt by the players when the difficulty increase is just 0.25 rounds. But if it stacks up to 4 years, that means quarterfinals of this year may be round of 16 of 2029. Like, imagine that. That's what makes such difficulty increases so scary. And it's slowly but surely being felt by each map getting more and more difficult to tank. Oh, why did I miss?
Oh well, you gotta well that's the lesson. You gotta stay focused on the entire chart. You can't just like lose your mind on any part, even if it's the break section, because this ending is also ridiculously hard.
Yeah, and also the reminder, if you have played Go to EX as well, or if you just do know the song, you know, we have something in surprise for you at the ending as well. So here we go, get that nice final stare down before we get into our outro.
Alright, here we go. Just ending. You don't you can't miss here. Like, please, just if I see anyone miss here, I wouldn't be happy. Like, please don't.
There's no troll here. There isn't even a Biosphere trio here either. It's just an LN. It's like 2 LNs. You can't miss here. I swear to God.
Would have been funny if it was a drill instead of the crew case scream.
Exactly, something like that. Okay. Honestly, I think after this we already have the Ellen picks. Okay, again, just to preface this, don't worry if the score that you see there isn't that high. That's not a 100% accurate representation of it. As remember, these replays were done with 0 warm-up. Okay, let's go to Ellen 1, please.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, again, can we lower the scroll speed? Yeah, to 25, there we go. So this is, I believe, our Ellen release pick. This one is the successor to... Not necessarily a successor, because these and Igaku are two different release charts, where Igaku focused a bit more on coordination density. This one is a bit more blurred towards the lines between coordination and technicality, at least from how I observed it. But there are elements of Igaku that are still present, especially at the very end.
This is a pretty interesting kind of coordination release. It's close to textbook, but it has very unique elements. Like, of course, this is a Mysterion map after all. There is a lot of like strange releases and generally freeform gameplay that may be a bit unique to a typical textbook coordination release. Like as you can see here, it's very hard to follow the irregularity of the patterns. A lot of releases and some weird bursts as seen here. Els just missed on one of them as well.
Yeah. Again, this is without warm-up, so I guess it's not the most accurate representation of my skill. However, there are so many parts here where I know even at my peak I would really struggle to play these. At least in terms of like being consistent and all that.
It's something you definitely have to keep your eye out for, especially as we do get into our second Ki. It's definitely kind of giving a run for your money when you are kind of focusing on some of those coordinations and when you jump straight back into the Ki again.
I kind of see like this thing that in coordination release maps you don't really have a break, because even in easy and calm sections the mapper will still try to have released patterns on it, so you really cannot escape from the risk of dropping 200 anywhere.
Oh, that's so true. Like, even in this break section, it's actually very much prone to any of these misses. Or 200. Okay, yeah, this is where the Igaku part really starts to... This is where your experience with Igaku can really shine, where there's a lot of those sort of anchors and thrills here, sort of.
Mm-hmm. The inversiness is much more noticeable, and therefore it also increases the physicality and ironically the Igaku-ness of the map.
There's a bit of
There
Tedo
goes
in all.
round one.
There's a bit of Tedo in all of us.
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
There.
Okay, so Ellen 2, I think a lot of people wait. Yeah, a lot of people recognize this song. Again, can we please lower the scroll? There we go. This is so funny because this is the density chart. 209 BPM Ellen density, which is a very fast BPM already, especially for this stage. In quarterfinals of MWC, they had Tusker Einheit, which was, I believe, okay, 206. So this is actually faster than the MWC qualifiers BPM.
Well, this Mappool might be hard.
And by the way, there's split trills in this, and a lot of one-hand trills as well.
Yeah, you have to manage even some of those. You even have to manage some of those. I wouldn't say jacks. I would say kind of, as you said, some of those split trills with the middle column emphasis as well. But again, it's just going to be screaming pure jump stream at you, in U-East fashion, of course.
I think some of you may get away with using Percy on this map, but I don't know, you do you. I'm pretty excited to see like the middle seed matches on this map, so that I can see whether such dense and jump streaming on density maps are perceivable or not. Like I need to see so that I can like appropriately pick actually hard density maps for you guys.
Like, I told this a lot a while ago, but if I'm not struggling on this without warm-up, no, we cannot pick that. This is exactly why this is in here. It has to be, it really has to start getting even more difficult per round.
But just especially, even then, just every aspect of this map is definitely a big step up from what we have seen. Just the length, just the patterning, BPM, pretty much everything about this map, and just the density, as you said, with some of those split first, especially seeing it right there, definitely can be hard to get in and out, especially finding a common break. It would be pretty detrimental.
So just a lot of the more, like the ending is so difficult because you're really gonna start to lose a lot of your stamina.
Already like at you only have like 20% or so of your stamina left, and this part is still making it feel like the song is like 4 minutes long. In fact, this song is actually like nearing 3 minutes long, so the stamina aspect is definitely much more pronounced compared to last week.
Oh yeah, it's really difficult, especially for a quarterfinals pool.
Well, this map is indeed very heuristic.
hmm Once again, yeah, just pretty usual stuff from a UE's map, I would say, and definitely a big step up as well. So I guess we can move on to our LN3, which I do believe is going to be the technical or either a wildcard. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, this is going to be the wild card pick first. This map is intentionally picked to be a bit on the speedier side. So the BPM here you can see is faster than the L density map even. But of course it is going to be lighter and therefore a bit harder to like get good accuracy on.
Yeah, it's pretty much going to be a mix of everything. On the shorter side as well, around the 158 mark. Definitely throwing you in with a lot of those patterns, those releases on a lot of those different snappings, accompanied by a bit of that density thrown in the mix as well. Definitely emphasizing a lot more on that rhythm. Definitely kind of hard to keep that additional flow, especially as we do kind of jump out from that into the kind of transition before we do get back into things.
Like I feel like it's not only speedier than the density pick, but it also contains more irregular bursts as well. So, oh, there's also shield, which is going to be a pretty like problematic choke hazard. If you're careful, you may jump on this O2 today.
Definitely. I actually forgot where. I'm gonna be real. I actually forgot where I got this replay from because this is actually an old replay, and it just so happens to coincidentally be in this pool as well. What makes it so hard though is like what you said, shield, a lot of rolls, density, so many stuff that's mixed together.
It's pretty much a big sandwich when it does come to this. Just of course being the wild card. Of course, you do get some of those density bursts as well. As we just do get to the outro, we get that one final density area with that stream at the end being pretty tough, especially at 215 BPM. So once again, that is going to conclude our LN3. Thank you, Lively Peninsula, for that replay.
You're welcome. By the way, shoutouts to this for a Hatsune Miku background for a non-Hatsune Miku song.
There's a bit of Miku in everyone, including my profile picture is literally Neru right now.
Alright. Alright, so let's see. LN4. This one's gonna be interesting. Alright.
Who made this?
Yeah, oh, hello there, Lot. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, this map it has a pretty hilarious backstory to itself. It is kind of like a semi-custom for VNMC semifinals, but before that, it's also a submission for the monthly beat mapping contest, and this one was the winning entry. The gimmick of the contest, and therefore the map is 0 rice notes. So this map is going to be all LN. And to adapt to the mapping tournament meta, this map is also very tricky and map parkour. Therefore, it's like more on the technical representative side of things. Every nuance of a song is going to be followed with clear precision. This also leads to some pretty irregular and fun, but irregular and definitely not easy to like act gameplay.
Yeah, you can easily see from here, of course being pretty technical, and actually, sorry, I'm pretty lost for words.
Yeah, this map is pretty hard to follow. I don't think it's easy to like articulate a proper description for this map. To be honest, it's just very weird. But like, I think it's also like the least physical pick of the Mappool, which makes up for the techiness of the map in general. So this will either be your worst nightmare or your immediate priority.
Yeah, I would say definitely be frowned upon by some of the players who aren't really that prominent in the long notes. Um, and especially just knowing how technical it is. Like again, you can still kind of keep that combo, but the accuracy can definitely be a hindering factor. Once again, thank you, Ilya, for this replay, and thank you a lot for this map as well. Very solid map.
By the way, I hate to break the fourth wall, pero masaya. Are you actually happy you're not in 4K anymore? Masaya ka bang wala ka na sa 4K? Anyways, let's go with the
Oh,
hybrid one.
Lamau. Okay, anyways, hybrid one is going to be the stream heavy hybrid for tradition. This is going to be a cut version of Cortera's King World. I believe the set is ranked, but the ending is very spiky, so I think this cut will make the map more balanced in general.
If I were to be honest with you guys, like, I actually was consulting with Lot here. Like, we originally had this at 1.0, and then I was like, wait a minute, isn't this a bit too easy? So we decided to update this by a little bit.
Yeah, so now you do have to deal with 252 on the in that case. Where again, yeah, as we do get into it, you see a couple more of those shields for the present as well. Just kind of following the flow of that jump stream. Again, not really too hard to kind of keep your rhythm in track, but it is really some of those shields that are pretty much keeping you in check.
This map is 252 BPM, and with typical streaming hybrids, the difficulty comes from maintaining the speed of these fast jump hand stream patterns while still like managing the whole strain of the LNs that encompasses each streamy pattern.
So then, as we do kind of get into the build up before we get into our final Ki, again, kind of giving that little appetizer for what is to come. A small bit of that coordination, but mostly on the same snapping, but with that jump drill and split-foot transition, it just jumps straight back into things.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit more emphasis on more that jump stream as well.
So yeah, that's it really. There's also this ending. Don't get 200s here.
There's a rhythm change. If you get 200 here, then that's your fault. And the fact that it's all triples will make each of those 200s like multiplied by 3 or 6 depending on how much you choke accuracy on.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
definitely something.
Sorry. Go ahead, Nightcore. Go ahead.
It's definitely a map you have to keep your eyes on.
Definitely. Another map that we gotta keep our eyes on is Hybrid 2, definitely. Come on. Let's go with Hybrid 2. It's gonna be World Collapse. Again, can we lower the scroll speed? There we go. So, I was like, okay, 5.3 star. Sure. But, man, after the first part, I swear, it's gonna be significantly harder.
Yep, just getting that build up. Hybrid 2, is this gonna be the Jack oriented?
Indeed. I believe this was a custom song for Litang Cup. I do not know this tournament, by the way. Like, I cannot even search it on Google, but maybe it's a melody for other games. The SRG tournament?
I saw the source. I think it was Malody, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be Malody. So this is definitely an what's this again? It's definitely a harder breeze. I think it was the breeze, like the name of the Hybrid 2. Because there's so many jacks, and now with the presence of more rolls and a lot of shields, yeah.
Yeah, this map is... Go ahead.
That's how you go.
Yeah, it's the same kind of like mixedness of freeze, but I feel like this map has more room for trickiness to it because the speed core bursts are gonna allow for weirder rice bursts to be mapped, which is definitely prevalent in this map. Fun fact, however, the original version has much more intrusive LNs that creates like 1-4 shields on 333 BPM, which is way too lethal, so we had to edit it. And also make the jackiness of the map more prevalent, which I think you can see here as there are much more shields than freeze off last round.
It's
Yikes.
just gonna keep on going.
And yikes, especially with those rice, especially with those streamers at free BPM. That's even I think that's actually very similar BPM to our Rice One as well, which definitely will be for the less physical players a that might be a map that you could probably go for ban potentially on if you're not really that physical like always.
Ha! Hybrid 3 though is going to be an interesting shift. Okay, slash again.
No
Yeah,
background. I do not ask us why, but it doesn't matter honestly. I think this map is like an unappreciated gem. Samuel HK Lumpers is a very underrated mapper. I think they debuted in the ranked section with their Luster map, but this one is going to be slashed by a Nightcore artist. I'm not going to read the name. It's just a Nightcore song.
Hey, that's me.
For now,
Okay.
my favorite moment.
All right. So, technical hybrid time. Definitely you can see at the start where we do have some of those braces accompanied with some of those LN scatters. Kind of getting into some of those bursts with some split frills as well. And here we are, kicking the density in with things that was pretty much our appetizer. And I would even say this is kind of like, this would kind of be like around this pretty similar format to our Rice 5, I do believe, as well. Like,
yeah. I can definitely see where you're coming from. Release, dumps. It just has so many so many factors that makes this a really difficult hybrid chart. I will say though, I think it's a common trend. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but hybrids tend to be the least physical, at least in an earlier stages. That the hybrids are gonna be some of the easier charts, but this is definitely not easy in physicality.
oh,
I
for
feel like
sure.
I feel like when I pulled this for PHNM quarterfinals, I kind of thought to myself, this may feel like a joke. Like the patterning is just so unorthodox. Like this is something I may pull in a tournament called Anti-Meta Madness, just because of like how hilarious these patterns play out. It's just so weird, tricky, but at the same time, strangely enjoyable. You've gotta feel the map yourself. This is just one hell of an experience.
It definitely has that weird flow to it. Just pretty much kind of having a lot of those technical aspects that would kind of be pretty flowy. Kind of getting in and out of some of those streams, flams, and some of those scattered LN releases as well, with very minimal gaps sometimes as well. Definitely can be something that can pack a punch when if you do decide to pick this map.
I do want to say that currently the map is ODA, and we are requesting a lower OD for the map. I think I will like confirm it to be OD 7.4, and it will be
Hmm.
updated shortly.
Yeah. So
Hopefully.
So please just wait for that. We're going to we're definitely going to update everyone with the appropriate OD and all that. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of players are like, yeah, this is a really difficult map pool. Well, it definitely is. But, the Philippines has been one of the stronger teams in general, and we really need to ensure that you guys are being trained appropriately with the right difficulty for each charts. We know that it's a really difficult map pool, but now let's proceed to the tiebreaker. And yes, you see that 908k. No warm up still. But this should already show you how difficult this tiebreaker is.
It definitely is tiebreaker for a reason. So we're gonna have a mana lift match by Croquet. So calling it a 428, I do believe kind of having around similar time as go to EX. So, but this is gonna have a bit more emphasis on the LN as well. Starting off, we definitely have a couple of those. We definitely do have some jacks as well, and just getting thrown into some pretty nasty drills. A 261 BPM might add as well. BPM is definitely going to be something to watch out for.
To start off with this somewhat simple pattern that serves as an introductory phase for the map in general, although it does spike up a lot in some transitions here and there. Worth mentioning, last round's an Artifice is 256 BPM speed core-ish, and this map is basically the successor as well at 261 BPM, very speedy, some stream focused, but also extremely all-rounded patterns. I think despite the short length of 4 minutes and 28 seconds, there is a lot to unpack because the map will not hold down on any of you. Like, this section alone is already having a lot of angers. Oh, a jump trail as well. Yeah, this is a lot of stamina drain from you. Mini jacks coming into this weird release tech patterns.
Alright, so there's gonna be some slow sections. But honestly, this slow section should not, what they call this again, should not fool you because there's gonna be some rise section still. And I believe there's a BPM part. Oh, that's evil!
Yeah, those shields are extremely tight.
This map is pretty much packing. This map is pretty much packing all the skill sets we have seen from all the other picks into this. And we do get into that break and that stare down as well at the halfway point as well, which is definitely going to take a toll on maybe the mental as well. But we do get back into that break before getting that calm before the storm right in to see what we have in store for the remainder of the map.
Well, this section is going to be an omen of what's going to come, a very LN focused point that, while be introductory, will serve as like a calm before the storm of what's going to come next in our instrumental chorus. Well, here it comes. Good luck, y'all. This is going to be yours. This is very akin to LN3 in the way that it's speed focused, but this is like way too speedy to be LN3. It almost blurs into LN coordination release.
Yeah, just looking how short a lot of those gaps are, and that nasty two-handed trill accompanied by both sides as well, so Mirror will not be saving you. Definitely, after the stare down as well, definitely something to keep your eye on. Please do not sight read this. You will be thrown off. And that's not even the ending as well. At 261 BPM, you just have to imagine, well, if you're not able to hold on to these patterns, you could be in a lot of trouble. And we do get this small bit of release and technicality before we get into the conclusion.
Oh my
Isn't it the
goodness.
conclusion? There's still one section left, baby.
Yep, this part is gonna be so hard. Just look at all those dumps.
This mixed red part is very akin to Gote X ending, but cranked up by a ton. These speed core extra tone bursts are much more prevalent and will kill your score by a massive amount. But wait, this is still false ending. You get one more part that will may or may not kill you.
I'm just imagining the score I'm just imagining the score difference at that final stare down, just to see if like any of the teams will mess up on a jump trill. That would be detrimental.
The
But for now,
7,000 fake endings are going to be messing with your mentality so much. Like, you thought it's all over. Screw you. Here's another burst of physical patterns just to make you drop.
Indeed, there's so much physicality involved in these pools. And I want to say this once more. Shoutouts to all the poolers. You guys made this possible. I'm really happy to have you guys on board. And I know that you all have your own jobs, you all have your own stuff to go through in life. But even with all that, you still are able to make really good quality pools. Now, I believe it's time for us 4K commentators to give the floor to the 7K team. Though if one of you wants to join, go ahead. Don't hesitate to. But let us introduce our 7K commentators, Itawachi, and of course, none other than Surfchu85. Hello there, how are you doing today?
Alam mo, nag-commentate ako ng 10 hours ng weekend. Medyo masakit pa rin po lalamunan ko.
Hey man, I'm right here. I got you, fam. I got you.
Yeah, pero honestly speaking, let's talk about the pools. Well, okay.
What can we talk
Okay,
about?
Okay. Just note that the plan for PHNats in general is always to have the 7K pools one round easier than MWC.
Yes.
For our EX picks, it will be equivalent to let's say the mixed tries for the quarterfinals. In this case, for this quarterfinals Mappool. Now, while I still think that we follow that theory, but like when I gave the pool a run through again, why does it feel like this pool is harder than I initially thought?
I think we may have deviated a tiny bit.
A tiny bit, yes, a tiny
Yeah,
bit.
but I think it's still, fitting, right? I'll still say it's gonna be fitting for
In theory, yes. In theory.
on paper, this entire thing should be just about around easier than MWCs. So
We should probably start with the race one.
yeah.
With
But,
our speed pick.
Yep.
So,
Just saying, though.
alam
Just
mo,
saying.
pambungad pa lang. Tignan niyo yung mapper name.
Ayan na, sir. Si
So
Turks.
this is our primary speed pick, 2x10. And nung nakita when Makiba actually saw this song as like the one being charted for this particular pick, Makiba was actually really happy. Like, oh my gosh, finally someone charts this song. Also, we just have to note that this song is actually, for this chart in particular, is actually downrated from its original BPM. It was this is like 0.95 times the original rate of this song. So yes, initially this would have been a faster song. Also, another thing to notice is the considerable increase in density of the chart compared to what we had last weekend. So for our faster picks, yes, the BPM is actually relatively lower, but again, as we mentioned last weekend's showcase, if the BPM is lower than intended, then we're gonna compensate with density, and that's what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, so this should be a lot denser than its Orbis. But I think the mapper name is gonna be an eye-opener to some. You see Turks in quarterfinals already. It's a shocker, right? It's a real curveball to have him at this early round.
I mean, we've had Turk starts in
Yeah.
early rounds before. Like,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
but-
sure no one should
We
be
had
shocked
one.
with that.
We had one, yes, but this is a Turks custom chart, you know?
Intentionally made for this tournament, and
Yeah.
honestly, actually, like, truth be told, like, I'm actually really happy with this chart. Like, this one is actually really fun to play overall. It's just that you have to be careful with the density of the patterns here for the most part. Like it's easy to miss if you're not paying attention. But again, like while the density is increased, like when you play this is actually it's actually pretty comfy still.
And yeah, we're actually another thing. This is a lot longer than with Orbis.
Yeah. Another thing to note actually, this pool, the average length of the song here, I think is gonna clock like 245, 250, as far as I know. So we have a relatively longer song pool this time around compared to the round of 16. So some stamina definitely gonna be coming into play here, I'd say.
Oh, definitely. We're gonna have the players step up a bit more just for this pool.
Alam niyo, like I could already see people like considering already banning this, just looking at the length of the chart. But like I tell you guys, do not jump into conclusions just yet. This is like the first chart of 16 regular picks that we're gonna show.
Yeah, I don't think this is the one you wanna ban just yet. I feel like
this is not a ban worthy pick, I tell you.
Yeah, this is more of a be wary pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, before we move on, I do want to say that RO16, we did have 9 customs. I want to see the guesses on how many we have for this round.
Actually, yung mas importante dito, ilan yung kay Oji-san?
Ayan nga.
Which leads us to Rise 2. We have Hashire Uma Musume, 411. Yeah. We have Hashire Uma Musume, 411 Donk Flip. This is our dense chord stream pick. So ito na, Oji-san 1.
Oji-san 1 here, and it is
gagawa na ba tayo ng Gagawa ba tayo ng bagong category sa pool? Hindi na RC1, RC2.
Yes,
OJ1. OJ1. So ito, OJ1 to OJ1.
Welcome to our OJ1 pick, Hashire Uma Musume, 411 Donk Flip. I actually do love this song. I played the Crew Case 7, like a 4K version of this song before, and it's literally just quad strip. I hated it, but at the same time I loved it. This is not that, so I think
Also, throwback lang din to sa 2022 Nationals ata yun. Ginamit din yung yung original na arrangement ng Hashire Uma Musume. I think it was like semi-finals in 2022. It was a polka chart if I'm not mistaken. And that was like a full song. So mas mahaba pa dito. Like So this is like another 3-minute dead chord stream pick, and personally I find this the harder of the 2 chord stream picks that we have this weekend. Mostly because of the stamina. Like RC3 kaya ko pa 96. Pero ito 94.5. Napakasarap sa kamay.
Wait, I just looked at bottom right. It's actually OJ1.
Yeah, di ba? Ayun, pinalitan din ni Ken, OJ1.
Thank you, Ken, for this.
Thank you, Ken, for the overlay change. Pero yes, this is our Rise 2, aka OJ1.
Thank you, OJ1. We have a new category, guys, for MWC. It's leaked right here.
Hindi po yan Overjoy. Oji-san yan, Oji-san.
Oji-san pag Philippines, pero pag MWC Overjoy na po yan.
Kaya pala nagtaka ako, biglang nag-flash ng green yung overlay sa baba, yung pala pinalit.
Yeah, I saw.
Pero tandaan niyo po pag may pag sa actual match sa Rise 2, RC2 pa rin sasabihin niyo
Yeah.
Kasi hindi namin lalagay sa Sheet of OJ1.
Dito lang po yan.
Dito lang po yan sa showcase. Also, like this is a really clean play by our replay son.
One last stream.
Yeah, like again, I told you, like stamina is gonna be a really big factor in this chart. Like it just doesn't stop. Like it keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on until it ends. And that is Oji-san 1. our dense chord stream pick. Alright, let's move on to our faster chord stream pick this time around. A different kind of fast chord stream actually.
Ayan
And
na
again,
po.
eto na po. Okay, TY2, Turks 2, because this is a custom chart.
So we have Turks 1, Ojisan 1. This is Turks 2.
Turks 2, this is Turks 2.
Mr. Streamer, palit na lang po.
So palitan na yung RC1 to TY1. Ayan.
Yung TY1 po. Tapos ito TY2. Salamat. Wait,
Ina-adjust.
Okay, this actual song title, it's a bit different from, you know.
Though,
I believe
as far as I know, this is from My this is from My Festival as well. Like same source of tiebreaker song in the previous round, Hoshishizuku. And I actually still haven't figured out like how do you pronounce the title of this song.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this either. Because actually, if you look at the actual song title, yes, the quotations are there. And then the thing between the numbers is a symbol.
Indeed. Also, this is our first 2-minute pick as well. So this is one of our shorter picks in this pool. And also, if you compare this with what we had with Campanella, like Campanella is more of just a focus stair movements. This one is more double chord stream actually, and it's just on a really fast BPM. Like the other chord stream pick is more of like the brackety kind of chord stream, which is something you'd expect from our two chord stream picks really if we are following MWC in the first place. And I already see sa Luwesca Els, I mean Lively Peninsula, I mean K Angel Este Todet already saying in Discord VC chat, like while watching the stream, like why is 411 Psi 892 here? End of quote.
Wait a minute. I need to get a 0.5 on this chart.
Oo nga. Like, imagine mo, ikaw yung pinaka-late na nagsimula magmaymay sa grupo natin, tapos ikaw pa yung una naging 16K. Na all.
No,
Grabe naman yun.
I'm too Tunithim coded to play my. Anyway, Mr. Streamer, palitan po TY2 po to. Yung
TY2 po to. Rise 1 yung TY1. Yeah, we're just working with an inside joke here because Rise 1 is a custom chart by Turks. So that's TY1. Rise 2 is a custom chart by Oji-san, so we called it OJ1. Now, this is a second custom chart by Turks, now we call it TY2.
Let's wait for the Mr. Streamer to fix this maybe. Or
La. Oh, there you go.
Ayo.
There we go.
All right.
Let's move on to our chord jack pick.
Surprise, guys! It's not by me this time.
Pero kita niyo naman yung yan OJ2.
OJ2 na po.
This is our chord jack pick, and actually this is a considerable increase in density from what we had with Rise 4, Sugeki Hitokimiya from the round of 16. Pero more reliant on your anchor movement, so medyo may pagkakaiba din siya sa difficulty ng Batsubyo ng qualifiers. Qualifiers is actually designed to be around quarterfinals level in this tournament, so something interesting to note.
Again, OD9 chord jack, so we can't just see a 1 million.
Yeah, medyo pero very very straightforward chord jacking pa rin. And like at least from what I remembered, there's not many stairs. Like it's literally just pure chord jacking. So unless like you don't have the stamina for this start, you should be able to act this just fine. Except if your name is Surf285 because he sucks at chord jacks.
At least you can play 7-key chord jack. I could not even play a 4-star. But anyways,
also for those who are wondering, like why do we have to put the chord jacks at OD9? Because these are super straightforward chord jack picks, and we know that everyone's gonna act it, so we might as well make it hard to score on as much as possible. But I guess like you'd expect lower the OD settings on the chord jack picks once we get to the crazier stuff later in the tournament. So I don't know. We'll throw everyone a bone naman in that regard. This time lang talaga na medyo sadyang light yung density ng mga charts. Well, you gotta have to deal with it.
Also, the anchors on this chart, well, they're not that many. There are a lot longer than Tagyuku, so...
Also, this is like 2-minute 30-ish pick. So,
Yeah.
stamina again a factor, pero I mean, this is like what shorter than the previous one. So, naman, like na-compensate naman yung difficulty spike at least.
Yeah. It's a balance. We have to strike a balance between them.
So, closing pattern na po tayo.
And there we go. That should be
There you
my
go.
score.
Alright, so coming up next is our accuracy heavy tech pick. More like mixed tries pa rin. And this is Tokyo Machine Turbo, a chart by Lenpai. And this is actually his entry to the monthly mate map MBC, the recent MBC that just ended as far as I know. This pick, while very straightforward, like Clover, tignan nyo po ang trail usages sa chart na to mamaya. Good luck.
Good luck na lang po sa yung lahat.
Exactly. Like, this chart is just so perfect. Perfect for usage in this tournament. Like, you want to test a player's figure independence? Well, here comes the pick that will indeed test that.
Any 4K players in chat will know that these kind of songs are SV charts. Ay, that long jack.
That long jack, yeah. Madali lang yun. Middle finger lang.
Kaya po yan. Oh, these patterns, they're so satisfying to look at though. But those are so... What the trails, man?
Yeah, exactly. Like, gumagalaw-galaw eh. Like, palipat-lipat ng focus ng column. So, that's like the super tricky part of this chart for the most part.
Still,
Pero
straightforward
yeah,
naman, no?
very straightforward, Again, like, like at least for these early rounds, really, like the tech act pick is gonna play more like a mixed tries pick for the most part. Like, just like what we had with Clover, really. Like, you just have like these certain patterns I wanna say like just super tricky to hit overall.
Bit of a repeat, actually, from earlier.
Yeah.
Huwag kayo ma-mind-lock dito, ha?
Also nga po pala, shoutouts nga po pala sa mga engineer kasi engineer po ang charter nung kanta na to.
Engineering student po ako. Counted po yan.
Ayun, counted ka rin.
Ayun, salamat.
Ano yan? If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like more of these closing patterns again, like more of the same thing as you'd seen, pero you have these pesky trills just going all over the place. Kaya ingat-ingat. Also, I could definitely see some misses on those middle finger trails. Kaya ingat-ingat.
There's definitely gonna be a few.
Okay, so now, since best of 11 na po tayo, so we will have one additional pick sa ating mga categories dito, except EX and hybrid, kasi lagi lang tatlo-tatlo yan. So, our additional rice pick is actually another tech pick, pero this time, buraot patterns. And this one is a custom chart by Lazarent, same charter ng ating stage 6 from the qualifiers. So
LZ1 po to, LZ1.
LZ1 ba? Pero officially, we call this pick Tech Hybrid, Tech Wildcard. Colloquially, we call it Buraot. Rice Buraot. Ayan.
Rice Buraot. Ay, yes. Daming colloquial terms, ha?
I think that's like the best way to put it now. Buraot patterns, ayun.
This chart is actually like
Pero ano lang, ingat-ingat lang sa pakikinig buraot yan May dalawang vowel doon. Tatlong syllable siya, hindi dalawa. If you know, you know.
if you know, you know. Anyway, this chart. Let's go back to this. What am I looking at, Surf?
Exactly. Exactly. Like, the patterning of the start is actually really wild. And then, like, like, the intro, I'd say, is considerably harder. Like, like, this chart, at least, personally, I find it, like, front-loaded in terms of difficulty. Some people might actually say that it's backloaded instead. I'm not one of those. Like, the first half yung medyo nahihirapan ako. Like, the second half is more like just slap your keyboard, really. Slap him, parang ganun yung patterns nung chart na to.
This chart though, it does feel repetitive, but in the worst way possible. Like, there's a sense of familiarity with all the patterns, but like there's just always something slightly different that makes you trip up. It's just good luck na lang.
Yeah, indeed, good luck.
Katamad mag-tech.
Oo. Okay, so tapos na po tayo sa ating mga rice picks.
Yes, sir.
So ngayon, let's move on to our LN1. Our LN release pick, which is Itawachi's chart.
Hi.
Also, yung background, ayos.
Ayos pa yung background. So, IT1
Ken,
to? IT1?
Ken, paki-reduce mo yung background din.
Pa-check ka. And also, IT1 po to. IT1.
So, this is our LN release pick. Also, yes, the picture of the bald Miku is actually my picture. It's my bald Miku. She's studying calculus kaya na siya nakalbo.
Thank you, Sergio, for this edit of this background. That was amazing.
Indeed. But anyways, about the chart, again, this is your LN release pick, and unlike what we had with the BTD6 theme song, this one, there is a considerable increase in density, which I'd actually think that a lot of players would prefer than what we had nung BTD16.
Yeah, the density goes ramp up here than RO16s, but it's very continuous.
It's a comfy kind of density increase. Kaso nga lang, one of our players is actually said like this would have been really perfect without the shields, pero no.
No, we need shields. We need them.
We indeed need the shields.
So, fun fact, this chart was meant to be for another round, and then it was moved to another round, and now it's moved to here. So, yeah. Well, not round, like another pick, basically.
Another category, yes. Spoiler alert, ito sanang LN2 ng
Spoiler,
ng round
this
na
was
to.
actually our LN3, then LN2, then LN1, or LN2, then LN3, then LN1, diba?
Oo. Hindi, LN3 ng round of 16, ginawang LN2 dito, ngayon ang final LN1.
Yeah.
Lumipat-lipat tong chart na to.
So, this chart does use the full song, but it's only OD6.
Yeah.
I tried to make the patterns like feel like they're like a stream. That was my thought process here, but of course it's not actually a stream. It just kind of feels like that.
Yeah, like now to close out this chart, like you're gonna see mostly similar patterns. Really, like once you get the main gimmick of the chart, you should be able to get through this as long as you have the consistency for it and all. But again, like final quad of the chart, like there is a more considerable increase in density, like similar to the density ng ating EX2 in the round of 16. But this time with more shields.
Yes, because I hate people, and I mean, I want them to actually experience pain and suffering in playing this chart. Also, have fun with the 1/8 releases, by the way.
Yeah, you saw the 1/8 releases right there. Medyo mag-ingat-ingat po tayo dyan. I remember being thrown off by that all of a sudden during my playtesting, but no, that had to stay.
It had to be there. And you're lucky we nerfed the OD from OD7 to OD6. So
Okay, so ngayon, let's move on to LN2. This is our LN coordination pick, and this is Charlo's cover of a famous song from TikTok, apparently.
Not a TikTok enjoyer, so I will not be
Oh.
able to.
I just heard that this is from TikTok. I
Oh
remember-
wait,
Oh.
I just realized what song this is. Yep, okay, yep, I get it now.
Like, narinig ko na lang sa pinsan ko nung nilalaro ko to for this replay. Like, sabi niya sa akin, hala, galing to sa TikTok ah. But
Now,
anyways,
Yeah, a good song, but I don't know if people say pag galing to sa TikTok, it's a TikTok song. I don't know, honestly.
Ewan ko, galing sa pinsan ko yan ah. Like, that's
That's our
ano,
primary source of information, sir.
primary source of information namin yan. So, ayan. Now, people might say that this looks more like LN1, but like, considering what we had in the round of 16, we cannot find a proper follow-up to Pamela 1. And honestly, this is like the closest we found to it. Like, there's less LN Jacks, but there is that element of movement where you'll have to hold on to long LNs, be able to do LN chords while doing such and all of that stuff.
So, in a sense, it's Pamela 1v2.
Pamela 1, but make it more Chinese and about cats. Though, as far as I know, the second verse of this song, actually, Charlo, had a Japanese lyrics for the second verse?
I've never heard the cover, so you're throwing me off here. Let's see about the second half here.
Also, ano nga pala, kung marunong kayo mag-DT, mga around mga 1k rank sa sa 7k or mga 1.5k sa 7k, i-double time nyo to, medyo may bigay itong performance points. Farming advice from Sir Q85.
Oh my god, it is Japanese.
Diba?
Yes, the Island Jacks.
Also, something about this chart, like, I actually really just like how this plays overall, really. So, like,
Ay, wait lang, may nagtanong daw sa chat, ba't wala pong K-pop po sa pools? Nalungkot na daw si Sunny.
Ano yan? Masasagot na ba natin yung tanong na yan o hindi?
Copyright, sir. Yan na lang sabihin natin.
I mean, we could, pero we will not say if we did.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oo. Kasi pero like one of the things like we have to note lang po is nag-iingat lang po tayo at baka ma-mute yung mga VOD. Sayang naman, 100% coverage pa naman ang goal natin.
That's true. But that is it for LN2. It's literally just a glorified LN Jack with Sweep Simulator.
Yeah. More I also yung replayer name talaga lang ya. Hala, si Pikachu naglalaro ng pusa chart.
Oh yeah, this is a rank chart by the way, right?
Yeah, this is a rank chart, yes, indeed. Again,
yeah,
sabi ko,
I thought I recognized it.
kaya sabi ko, like, if mga 2k to 1.5k ka, double time mo to, may performance points to. Anyways, let's move on to LN3. This is our density pick. And may kailangan uling palitan si Ken sa overlay. OJ3.
OJ3! Oh my god.
So we have
ilan to kaya?
So we have Nanatsukaze Dream Gravity. And actually, as a fun fact, ito sana yung hybrid one last week. Kaso nga lang, sobrang similar na charting style sa sa Princess Bride. So, sabi ko kay OG-san, pre, pwede ba na Pwede ba na nataasan na lang yung LN count? Tapos gawin na natin na LN3 sa next round. Ayan, there you go.
And Yeah, here we have Entity.
Also, ano nga din po, pasensya na po, wala po kaming ibang replayer ngayon. Hu. Yeah, 95% na po.
Sorry na po.
Kaya nga po, 95% na po yung ending rate nito. But anyways, about the start, it's Ellen, it's density. You could already see that from the chart in itself.
It's literally just harder Princess
It's
Bride.
literally just harder Princess Bride, yeah. And I'd say more control-heavy Princess Bride as well.
Yeah, you do have to hold a lot longer for some of these, like inverse streams, if you could call it that.
Medyo kailangan mo you kind of have to be careful with a lot of these holds, really. So, but like overall, the chart is just really fun to play overall. Like it flows very well, and honestly, I want to say that this is actually like if this was a qualifier chart, this would have been like a more fun stage 3 personally.
Maybe.
Actually, no, not stage 3, stage 4. And there we go. But like, qualifiers is qualifiers, quarterfinals is quarterfinals. Like it's a different thing. Also, this part, actually that reverting star part, I have to be careful. Unlike what I did in this replay. Medyo
jump scare
Yeah. Yeah, bigla na lagi full Ellen, bigla nagpaparamdam eh. Definitely not a premonition to what we have in store sa LN4.
Huwag mo naman i-spoil, Surf.
Hindi, like, we'll let everyone figure out what LN4 actually is. Pero, if this is enough of a clue, you might actually figure it out. Anyways, that's our LN density pick. So medyo napaparamdam po full LN sa ating LN density picks. You might expect a bit more of that starting next weekend sa ating semifinals pool. So setting expectations na po tayo. Anyways, let's move on to LN4, which first, I'd say for some people this is gonna be the easiest LN chart in the pool. For the other side, this is gonna be the hardest LN chart of this pool. We have Hamu featuring Natsuki Karin, Sunao ni Naritae, the OSA original from TWC 2024, and this is our LN inverse pick.
And there you go. That's the answer to what LN4 actually is, guys. We were teasing it last week, but there it is, the official reveal of LN4.
Also, ito yung sinasabi ko din like one of my favorite OSA originals as well. Like, it's just so fun to listen to. Like, you cannot believe na like, apparently, this is actually Hamu's first try producing something with with a Vocaloid.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Vocaloid to.
Yeah, I know it's a vocal, but really that's the first.
Hey, pero, yeah, I mean, for those who are following, ayun. Like hindi siya tanong Vocaloid, pero yes, Vocaloid to. Like sa mga if you don't know, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, you kind of need a very honest effort here, like So now, strategy-wise, you have LN release, you have LN coordination, you have LN inverse, all together in the same pool. Actually, unlike what we had nung MWC, where literally pinalitan ang release with inverse. This time you have both together. So na lang. Might as well. Best of both worlds, worst of both worlds, depende yan sa player. Pero this turn in particular, most of the difficulty here really is like the positioning of the releases here. Pero most of them are just 2-note chord releases or even number releases. Yung pinaka kinaiinisan ko lang talaga dito is yung yung magre-release ka sa odd numbered columns tapos hawak-hawak mo yung middle finger. Yan yung pinaka kinaiinisan ko na pattern talaga dito. Like that's like the only reason why I still cannot get an A on this.
Happens to the best of us.
Happens to the best of us.
Inverse is quite a niche skill, so I can understand.
Okay, so now we're done with the LNs. Let's move to Hybrid 1.
There we go.
And for Hybrid 1, we have OJ4. No name,
OJ4!
Regional Russia. Oh my gosh. OJ4 na po tayo mga lods. This is our LN based hybrid deck, and in terms of difficulty, like, I think some people might say that Mirai to connect to might be harder in terms of like the amount of control you need. Pero this one is like the way this is started, like there's an increase in density, pero I think like if you could do on Hybrid 1 last week just fine, you should be fine with this as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's not that big of a jump from last week's Hybrid 1. But again, deceptively difficult.
Yeah, like there's like an increase in density again. Also some LN release-ish elements included in this chart. Also like just for the record, while Oji-san did chart most of this, actually the entire thing, I did have a hand at editing this kasi like at the time nung bago pala to chart, kakagawa pala ng chart na to, I felt like there was like a lack of noodles in this chart, so ayun, had to convert some of these notes to LN, and you'll see that as we enter the following section. Ayun, definitely surf queue section na to.
This is definitely the surf queue section, yeah.
Actually like similar lang to sa first chorus, pero this time around ginawa ng LN yung majority ng streams dito. So that's like the super minor edit that I made to the start, and you can already see like the increase in in density here.
Yes, sir. Still quite short actually. Only 2 minutes.
Yeah. Alright, so ano naman kaya ang ating now we have our LN bias hybrid. Now let's move on to our Rice bias hybrid. Lowest SR of the entire pool. So we have Embuna, Sono Gunjoga, Itoshikata, Yodata, featuring Yagino Makana. This is a chart by Lenpai.
Custom
So
ba to?
this is a custom, yes.
So LP1 sir, LP.
LP1 pwede.
LP1, meron na po.
Ayun.
Ayun, thank you sir.
Okay, so this chart, well, kung nakulangan pa kayo sa trills nung turbo, this one is just trill central. And not to mention na napaka-tricky ng LN usages here. So not exactly a follow-up to God Type of Ra nung last week. This is just this is more of just like super heavy on chords and trills na kailangan mo mag-ingat, and it's also a pretty fast song as well.
Yeah, the speed.
Kaya
20 BPM. Ang bilis nito. Oh, the thrill.
Oo, kaya nga medyo mababa yung star rating nito, pero no, like the difficulty of this chart is actually pretty immense.
A bit of a control H section here as the break.
Yeah. Also actually, like before everything got finalized, like the reason why the song is actually here, if you notice, qualifiers, Starred Heart galing Ongeki.
That's true.
Round of 16, Hoshi Shizuku galing Mai Mai. So yes, this song is actually a Chunithm original.
Yes, sir. Ano po
So,
yung next?
kompleto ng Geki Chuma eh.
Yeah, Gege Juma is done. Pero ano yung next? Yan yung question.
What's next? Exactly. Ewan ko na lang.
This really just feels like Ellen with Rice. Or sorry, Rice streams with Ellen.
Rice streams with Ellen, yes. Like, really fast Rice streams as well. So, like, more kind of a throwback to what I'd say, like, older tournament pools na hindi ganun ka-strict sa, sa hybrid usage. It's like, more like, basta Rice na may LN or LN na may Rice, pwede na hybrid yan. Like, this is more of a throwback to that time, really. Pero again, extreme need of control sa ating rice picks. So ano lang, medyo ingat-ingat lang po tayo. Ngayon, let's go to our technical hybrid pick,
Oh, no.
which okay, pakilaka yung background din po, background dream. So we have Camellia, Neuro Cloud9, original chart by Makiba, edited for this tournament. And I will be uploading this. So I guess does this count as a custom? Also, tignan niyo po yung mga detalye sa background.
We have Neuron activation, we have Cloud9, we have the Cloud9 esports logo, we have the Cloud9 chocolate bar, and we have Norasama.
Yes. Kulang na lang, lagyan pa ng logo ng Camellia Homes para kompleto na. Nakalimutan ko nung na finalize yung background Anyway,
Ayun na po, SC1.
Yeah, solidly technical hybrid chart really like but like I guess in a way you could also call this like more of a mini tiebreaker. Kasi lang, just an insight on how we did the polling here. We actually had another chart which you will see on EX3 na we had to decide which song goes to which pick.
Yeah, you'll see in a moment.
We ended up deciding na, hey, you know what? Let's just put this in hybrid 3. Also, like certain parts here were actually buffed by Oji-san as well. And you will actually see it in you'll see it actually later. Also, this is a fairly short pick, kaya medyo ingat-ingat po tayo. Fast LN streams, fast stairs, like it has it's like a lot of stuff here. Now for the most fun part.
Yeah, the stream part looks really fun to play.
Yeah.
And then the sweeps.
Also yeah, double thumb pattern
double
yan.
thumb.
Double thumb pattern yan.
Ang aga naman may double thumb na agad. Quarterfinals pa lang, sir.
Theoretically speaking, you could actually single thumb that, pero alam ko may magdo-double thumb dyan. Also, hindi si OG sa nag-suggest nun
Sino yung nag-suggest yan, sir? Would you like to review?
Tago natin sa pangalang Naminori Pikachu.
Sige, yan lang muna. Baka may may pitchfork sa torches mamaya kasi
Oo. It's a very straightforward patterning overall, pero like some technicalities really that you have to just take note of really for the most part. So yeah, so with that, baka mag-expect kayo, maybe some of the picks might actually end up having proper double thumb patterns. We call it the neuron activation pattern, ganun.
Yes.
Ayan,
Anyway, let's move on to the
EX1.
hard stuff. The
Yeah,
hard
EX1.
stuff. And for a surprise,
We have YZ1155 charting Noctis Egotric Chelum Hemetype.
this is YZ1.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, nung March patapos tong chart na to.
Yes, because for any of you who are following the recent YZ Not for Fun contest, this was used as a showcase by YZ himself. So this card was actually done very, very
Very early.
very early in the tournament's lifespan, I guess. Also, shout out to Bacon for winning 4th place in that tournament. Let's go.
Let's go. Ayos yun Also, yung OJ edit lang na hindi Overjoy OG-san edit yan.
OG-san edit po yan. So we have OG 4.5.
Para magalit ata si Ken kung lalagyan pa natin yan.
OG 4.5. I'm kidding.
Hindi,
YZ1.
YZ1 yeah. YZ1.
YZ1
There we go. But yeah, again, mixed tries to So you're kind of expecting a lot of stuff here. So kung akala nilang like cold stream na to, no. May mga jacks dito. So may mga minor speed patterns as well. So it has pretty much everything you'd expect really from a mixed rice pick.
This chart is just who put Jax in my chord stream.
I guess that's again best way to put it. Oy, Cora, hindi to MWC plus 1 ha. Kita-kita kayo sa Twitch chat. Oy.
Kitang-kita po yan, sir. Oh,
Tama
I just
na.
realized it's coming up. I just realized it's coming up.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually pretty excited for what's coming up. There you go. Ooh, really
Yes,
fast
there you go.
patterns. Yeah, there you go. Sarap. Ayan, so
Can we say that this
Yeah?
the replayer name was definitely not this?
Yeah. The replayer name had to be changed. Pero yes, ano po, shameless ads lang po if you want to, we are indeed short-staffed, especially sa 7K. We need more commentators for sa 7K. More streamers din would be nice. Ano po, please join the PHNM2025 staff for access. Benefits include access to our 24/7 Terraria server. Tinatapos lang po namin isang vanilla run. Baka magmo-modded kami pagkatapos nun. Ayun. Anyways, let's move on to
Shameless
EX2.
plug. And
So we have Mimi Answer featuring Wanko, a chart by Law School. So this is one of the pre-existing charts na meron tayo in this pool. One of the rare ones. And honestly, like, this is a really fun chart. Just super brutal at the end.
I'm sorry, I was a bit out for a bit, but
Yeah.
let's go EX2.
And like, as I mentioned, like this chart is really fun, but like you see, there's like a lot of shields.
It's
Ito
fun if you can play it, you know.
Yeah, okay. Yan lang yung kulang doon sa EX2 natin last week. May kulang doon eh. Ngayon, nilagay na natin, kung ano yung mga kinulang na shields doon sa EX2 last week, ngayon, nilagay natin dito.
Lahat na nandito na. Compensation.
I know everyone is wondering if quarterfinals ba ito talaga to. Eh, quarterfinals nga, MWC quarterfinals level, that is EX eh.
That's true. Quarterfinals of MWC.
Ano na, like, I'd say, like, a lot of the LM players in the, like, the LM players actually have 5 charts to choose, ha. So you have, like, fake meme, you have, like, full LN, you have an Oji-san chart, then, you have, like, the cat song, and then you have this. So, like, lots of variety in the LN picks in this pool, like, very complementary, like, kung ano yung wala yung isa, makikita mo sa iba. So, like, if you are chasing for a certain kind of LN pick, like, you could actually just pick anything and you might be fine. Anyways, final third of this chart, like the last minute, or I'd say like the last 30 seconds actually, it gets particularly dense. And medyo kailangan mo na mag-ingat.
Yeah,
Kailangan
you're gonna
mag-ingat
get jump
mo.
scared a bit.
So, ito mo lang, pambawi ng accuracy a little bit, tapos ayan, you're thrown into the deep end. May mga reverse shields dito, some grace notes as well included in the stream. Actually, this part is still fairly easy to get through. Pero ngayon, you enter this section, eto na. Ayan.
Yeah,
ayan na.
good luck na lang.
Good luck dito. Dito na nasisira yung mga S-run ko.
This
Like,
separates the auto jump players from the Rise players.
Eh, yung 95.5 ko, naging 94.5 after nung ball na yun. So, ingat-ingat lang. Alright, so that is our penultimate regular pick.
And
Let's move on to EX3.
remember when Surf said that we weren't sure whether EX3 or Hybrid 3 would go on their respective positions? You'll see why. But let's go now to EX3, a chart people might be familiar with. It's My Groovy Bunny, but edited by none other than Oji-san.
Yes, OJ edit din po to. And actually, sinasabi ko lang, napakalaki it was like a major debate, like which one should go to Hybrid 3 or EX3. This one, initially, yung iniisip namin na ito na lang ito na lang mag-hybrid kasi medyo technical siya. But no, like parang mas mahirap i-buff yung Neuro Cloud9. So, this one, apparently, became a bit more friendlier to buff for some reason.
Yeah, because when I charted this for MFF Season 3, I didn't really wanted to make it too hard. And, well, YJ thought it was a good chart.
Okay like, I know someone's gonna say like, mas magkasing dali. Okay, ano matatawag mo dito? You do not see this pattern in Neuro Cloud9?
And just so we're clear, the MFF3 version of this song is 6 stars, just about. This is 6.7.
Also, also another thing, we had to lower the OD of this chart 2 times or 3 times?
2 times.
2 times. Like, ito, before we settle with OD5. Kasi pati si Kura mismo nagsasabi, teka na, ba't parang hirap i-act?
And, well, the buffs might not be too obvious. We made everything starting from here a bit harder. You'll maybe see something, but it's just the rice density for the most part, and then the LN parts. Good luck na lang, I guess.
Yeah, like I think I just remember seeing like the second half of this turn, like my hands gave up.
Yeah, I made those mini jacks. Kura made this a bit denser.
Ayan na po. Overall, again, it's a really fun chart. Like, I just cannot, I just don't expect this being a popular pick in matches mismo, unless like if you're like in a super close seeding match and like you wanna see like in a really close match and medyo pa late game na, you kind of want to see what's gonna happen pagdating ng tiebreaker, so you pick this.
Also, IT2 po to, IT2.
IT2. Ano?
Okay, this part is a lot harder.
Oh yeah, that increases density. Like, compare mo to sa original track, this one is just Drainowingan eh.
Giling-giling muna. Or something. I know some people are watching this right now say, but nandito na naman, but mas mahirap. Looking at you, Serelia.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's all of the regular picks done. So we only have one more chart remaining. And truth be told, sobra kaming nahirapan maghanap ng tiebreaker for this pool. So that already confirms one thing, hindi custom ang tiebreaker.
Yes.
Pero like, we had a really hard time looking for, and we ended up deciding like, hey, let's go Isekai Jocho Soshite Shiro ni Kairu. This is the round of 16 tiebreaker ng MCNC this year, if I'm not mistaken. And this chart is wild.
Very, very wild.
This
was like actually the only like 7-key tiebreaker that I saw that was actually good quality. That would be suitable for this round.
It's either like a tournament for like a tiebreaker for MWC or a tiebreaker for some other 7K tournament. Like, you can, like, sobrang bihira man lang makahanap ng charters na focus on tiebreaker core charts na kasi iba yung like when we say tiebreaker core, like stuff you'd actually see in a tournament tiebreaker. This is different from what you'd say like ranked section core hybrid charts. Like
This
they
is
have
ranked,
they have oh yeah, indeed. Pero this is not your conventional kind of rank chart though. At least patterning wise. People who played at the rank section would know what I mean by this. Yung iba yung feeling ng yung charting ng isang full flavor chart lang na like na super sectional. Ito is like more like, the patterns just flow really well with each other. Tapos like the difficulty is consistent and all of that stuff. Like it's actually really good. It's actually really really good. So yeah, that's pretty much really about this tiebreaker. What I'd say. Also very consistent LN usages all around. I think I feel like this is one of those tiebreakers na medyo reliant tayo sa sa ating noodle ability more. And honestly, it should be fine per se. Hindi siya yung katulad ng Hoshi Shizuku na like super again, as I mentioned, it felt more like what you'd expect from the rank section na hybrid chart.
You are trying to rank Hoshi Shizuku, no?
Yes, I am. Paki-hype po. Kung gusto niyo po i-mod, paki-mod na lang din po. Bigyan natin ng
Ayun.
bigyan natin ng rank si Oji-san. Kailangan niya po ng kailangan pa niyang additional upload slots.
May
Kasi
problema na
po lang
si Oji-san ngayon eh.
Ngayong round pa lang na to, ubos na daw upload slots niya.
Nagpapa-request nga kay Surf eh.
Oo, ako mag-upload ng isang chart niya mamaya. Yeah, like very
Very chill part here, but it's not chill at all, is it?
it's not exactly a chill. Like it's slow. Tapos you're just thrown like what yung mga LN na yung LN na grace notes yung start ng hold at saka release. Okay, indeed. Ayan, eto na po. We're starting to get to that increased density portion. If your stamina isn't shot at this point, this one I think you might have to this part you kind of have to be concerned. Kasi may konting dump section na nga din eh. Medyo wala akong stamina management na tayo dito.
And the patterns, unrelenting pain, I guess.
Oo, it just doesn't stop now.
Like, jammers nga to eh.
So ano na ba to? Ganito na ba Ayun. Let's go back to what I said at the start of the showcase. In theory, dapat MWC -1. Sa tingin nyo kaya we follow that?
Walang MWC -0.5 eh.
Yung nga eh, parang half round behind eh, hindi full round eh. Pero like I actually hope that everyone who has been following PHNats can see the effort that we put into these map pools, and I hope that in the further rounds you continue to support us, and actually we still super appreciate the feedback that you provide us. Please lang kung may map pool feedback kayo, pakisabi talaga. Like we actually need that. We actually need your input. Kayo maglalaro ng charts, hindi kami.
I mean we are, but at the same time
we are, pero kayo yung maglalaro sa tournament. So we need your feedback. So again, that has been all of the entire 7K pool. So ngayon, state of the bracket po tayo. State of the bracket at
with scores. I've seen some of their ranked performances. Kaya Sakuragi definitely has a chance. Main God though has the tournament experience to back himself up. Kaya I feel like this is really gonna be interesting as well. There's so many interesting factors here. But then, let's go to the top part, where we'll have Livet versus Valeria, Plana versus Unitori, Boji versus Sen, and Forken versus Silicosis. All of these players have experience in the very past, whether or not it's PH Nationals, other tournaments, MWCs, especially, and etc. There are so many good players in this entire bracket, and that includes the losers bracket as well. I'm honestly really excited to see a lot of these. I mean, Livet versus Valeria, this is like your typical Rice versus LN, but Livet can do everything. Plana versus Unitori, that one is going to be a very close one because those two players are very identical in the sense that they're all well-rounded. Now, Boji versus Sen is also interesting because again, Sen has been a player that's been here for a long time. So is Boji. And of course, we all know how good Boji's ceiling is. But Sen has some consistency that shouldn't be downplayed because I know Sen can do some amazing things. I also believe Sen got Delta recently or something like that, or very close to it, so there's that as well. Fork and Silicosis, man, I don't know how to feel about it. Because, you know, they're both extremely good players. Although I do think Forken has the slight advantage on LN, but Silicosis can definitely keep up on the Rice department. But Silicosis will have to depend on the fact that they're very consistent in terms of playing these maps. The moment they miss somewhere, that's gonna be a problem because Forken's accuracy could really outshine at the end of the day for every kinds of charts here. That's about it for me really, and the 4K bracket looks so interesting and I can't wait to see all the results here. Remember, for the losers bracket, it's basically your last chance. There is no room for error and no chance for losing a match. Alright, that's it for the 4K bracket. Go for the 7K bracket now.
Ayan, so just give us a few moments for everything to load in. So here we go. Let's start with the bottom with the losers bracket. We have Sorofuru facing Dota 2 Invoker. Actually, pretty interesting matchup. Dota 2 Invoker almost upset Serelia actually in that one match. I know Serelia is watching this stream right now. Shoutouts po sa'yo. And it was actually a really fun match to commentate on. And on the other hand, Sorofuru, hoping to maybe get 1 point, like their first few points, maybe even go the distance against Dota 2 Invoker in that matchup. I think it's gonna be a pretty interesting one, at least at the very least. So I just hope that both of the players can actually enter it well prepared. Up next, Ellen's Tenshi facing Shadowcon. Shadowcon unfortunately dropping to the losers bracket by way of default. Sana man lang magising siya sa kanyang alarm. If you know, you know. Okay, so pero kung mangyari yun, that's actually gonna be a really good matchup as well. Next up, Neko against Yuripe. Another interesting matchup. Actually, one of the things we actually noticed for this one and the next matchup, one of the players actually needs to maybe work on their settings. Yes, coaching na po to. Maybe work on your settings. I feel like the consistency is right there. The consistency is right there, especially for Yuripe and I'd say heavy weapon as well. Just need to fix the settings, I would think. Just to maybe fix the accuracy and work from there. Anyways, also have GBC, SES, and Heavy Weapon 9 rounding out the losers bracket. I know tawag sa dito that GB is Jabi. Okay, now let's go on to the upper bracket. Bodji facing Serelia. Gonna be pretty much an uphill battle here for Serelia to...
Good luck, Serelia, my god, please.
Very difficult matchup. No comment lang ako at baka baka may masabi ako hindi pwede sabihin. Not in a negative way ha. Not in a negative way. Like I just don't want to ayoko sabihin na tapos. Ayan. Okay, next up, Wewodge facing Bueno, number 4 versus number 5. Kung hindi ito aabot ng tiebreaker, I'll be sad.
That is prime for
Yeah.
tiebreaker. Just saying,
Oo.
legit.
Oo. Kung hindi ito maabot na tiebreaker, I'll be sad. Okay, next up, Sunny facing VRX. Consistent, combo versus Act Gaming tong matchup na to, as far as I know. Sunny will have a pretty tough battle against VRX, especially sa Rice Picks. VRX has been really good with accuracy-wise. I mean, siya yung nag-iisang upset na nakita natin from the previous round. And to round out our winners bracket, Arquin Oliveros, our eternal VTuber El Capitan, facing Nicolot.
That's a good match.
Another good matchup, I'd say. So,
I'd also like to shout out Arquin for raiding the stream earlier, even though he said he would do a short stream.
Kaya nga, medyo kinain ng overtime ang buong PH na
Alam mo,
showcase.
There was a lot of people talking on the Arquin stream saying, "Uy, Rice 1 na! And he's playing an ASCII chart, I think.
Ayun.
Oh dear.
Okay, so that's it. Finally, mag-aalauna na pala na madaling araw. That's it for you. Good morning. Kaya nga pala yung natin, yung signature greeting ng ating streamer son, good morning din eh. Ayan. Anyways, Odette, any final words before we close this one out?
Final words? I mean,
Inaantok na to.
I guess the
Naantok na ata to.
I'd like to say is, get some good rest before your matches. We do not want to see anyone here oversleeping, please. And I guess if there's anything to add, siguro, we know the map pools have gotten harder, but you have to remember that we're really trying to reach a standard here, especially with how good tournament players are internationally nowadays. We have to make sure that the entire Philippine scene also keeps up with the rest of the world. And we know that you're definitely more than capable of doing so. Good luck to everyone, 4 key or 7 key, regardless of what key mode you're playing. I know there's gonna be some awesome matches here. I hope to finally be able to see a tiebreaker match, because I know there's gonna be so many surprises this weekend is gonna give us.
Okay, so that has been Selwas Kels. Itowachi, any final words?
Well, looking at the matches for this upcoming weekend, I'm very excited. I also think there's gonna be some very close matches for sure. But I also want to see a tiebreaker. Like, I know it's not an original tiebreaker for 7K for this round, but a tiebreaker is still a tiebreaker,
The tiebreaker is the essence of all tournaments.
Can someone get the copy pasta? Wait, let me get it.
Oh, okay. Anyways, while Itowachi is getting the copy pasta, some final reminders going into the weekend. The schedules for the round 16, the schedules for the quarterfinals are already up on the master sheet, and since kanina pang tanghali, if you guys please look at the match schedules if you want to reschedule. You have until Thursday 11:59 PM PH time to at least assure na yung reschedule yung ma-arrange pa natin for possible stream. We're trying to get 100% match coverage in terms of this tournament. So hopefully we are able to attain that goal, and we've currently streamed all matches, pati yung mga magkakasabay yung blocks, which is actually really cool.
And just to add on to that, we are very short-staffed on 7K, so any commentators willing to step up to the plate, be our guest. I actually already have one person DMing me already, and maybe they'll be joining us to commentary.
Kaya nga, kailangan para namin ng commentator, guys. Maawa kayo, 10 oras ako nag-commentate mag-isa. I mean, not mag-isa for all of it pero alam niyo na.
Kaawa naman yung organizer namin, guys. Come on. Let my man rest. But anyway, I do have the copy pasta.
Ayun, i-recite pa ba or
Do you want me to?
Tama na muna siguro.
Tama na muna siguro.
Anyways, that has That is indeed the OC Philippines Nationals 2025 OC Mania 4K and 7K Quarterfinals Mappool Showcase. I hope you guys had fun watching us, and good luck to the players. And what was I about to say? Custom charts and all will be uploaded by the respective charters and all. Please await na po announcements sa player Discord server. So that has been it in behalf of the entire map pooling team. This has been Search 85 signing off. We'll see you guys on the weekend. Almost wrong grammar, no? Bye.
Goodbye.